Today's April 20th of 24. Warm weather is here. It's been in the 80s, and even at nighttime it really doesn't get down below 65, so you can come out here in a pair of shorts and flip-flops first thing in the morning before sunrise, and it still feels great. Well, here's my Harley. I got this thing running about a week ago. This is the one I paid $1,000 for, and it didn't run. But I've been riding it everywhere. I don't drive my truck now unless I have to. But anyway, you know, we're coming into the third week of April, and I think I'm about done gardening for this year. I think I'm done buying plants. I spent a whole bunch of time and effort and money on plants, and I'm to the point I'm about tired of it, but also this is the 10th year that I will have been married to my beautiful wife, and we're planning a cruise, and there's other stuff in life to think about besides just plants. Sometimes I feel like this is all just a colossal waste of money. So this is the area I'm calling Key West because it's on the far west side of the property. And I don't want to name every plant, but I put in some ricinus, camellia, there's some rhodos, there's a Tetrapanax papyrifera, there's a little baby Washingtonia filibusta that's from the big one down on Bragg Boulevard in Fayetteville. I've got a Manihot Grahamii back there. Trachycarpus. I grew some Melianthus from seed, and it got nuked when I moved it from the shade out here into the sun. That's a Sable Riverside right there. There's a row of Aspidistra there. Behind that there's some Mahonia soft caress. And then back here we've got some Sable Minor, Needle, Cordelines. I got some Dickeas. I don't know what to do with those. I like them, I just don't know what to do with them. This is a Mahonia narihara, and I think it looks a lot like a Chamaedorea elegans. I think it's a really good looking plant. Got another one I'll show you here in a minute. That is a dwarf namois. This is all pretty new, this side up here. I've got a ton of opuntia. I harvested it last fall, and I just threw it into a big messy pile in the backyard, and it's all putting out new growth like this stuff that you see here, and about half of it rooted into the ground just where it was sitting. So I've been just throwing it on the ground and throwing some dirt on top of it to hold it in place. There's a Musa Baju down there under the shade of that Butia. That garden bed is supposed to mirror this one.
You let me get a couple so I can put it in my yard. Looks good.
Thank you. That's always nice. Yeah, there's another one of those opuntia that I've just been throwing in the ground, and I've already shown all these plants. This is all the Danger Garden stuff. This sedum looks so cool. I can't believe that stuff's hardy, but I guess it's really hardy. This sedum looks great too. This really nice purple. I've got a row of lavender down there. My wife loves lavender. I like lavender tea. That's a Daisylirion. I hope that Cycas revoluta wakes up. And then there's the Butia that I've just put in the other day. The Ojubea. And I put in some grape and some blueberry. I've tried to do fruit stuff before in Washington, and I never gave it the amount of care that it deserved. I just put this bed in. This is kind of the mirror to the Danger Garden bed that's over there. So pretty much all the same plants. There's a little ice cream banana right down there. There's a guava, not guava, loquat. I've got one on the other side as well. Sable Minor. That's a Chicago hardy fig. Got more bananas over here. Let's see, that's a dwarf Orinoco. This one is ice cream. That's a dwarf Namois. Back here, I've got, there's a little alocasia. And I've pretty much shown all the plants that are in back here before, except for the Insetae Morellii. A lot of this stuff is putting out new growth, like the Farfugium there is looking good. I had to stake all of the tall palms. The wind was just tearing them up, blowing them all over the place, loosening up the root base. I tried staking them with, just tethering them with jute twine, and that wasn't sufficient, so I had to build little wooden teepees. The Arundinaria that I transported back there, show you that, still alive, but there's some Lawrenceria areolata, which is one of the cool native ferns. If you see down there at the bottom, looks like Anoclea sensibilis. This Fatsia is putting on a whole big flush of new growth. It's looking good. Right next to that Mahonia beelii. This side of the garden bed was supposed to be a mirror symmetry of this side, and I just ran out of steam. I ran out of time and money and resources, so it's not going to be symmetrical this year. That's okay. This Camerops just replaced this Camerops. This one had a systemic fungal infection. I tried to fix it with copper fungicide, and not only the main trunk, but also now all of the little suckers are spear pulling and coming out with dead growth. So, and it looked horrible. So it was time to go. I've got a few of these red cordylines. The ones up here in the sun don't look as good as the one back there in the shade. I'll show you that in a second. Alpinia zarumbet. Actually took some transplant shock or sunburn. I didn't know what to do with this Cyagrus. I had it in the pot, and it's not hardy here, but I think I'll protect it in the winter and try and keep it alive for a couple of years. There's a little alocasia. There's a Musa Baju there. Trachea. I put the Caryota in the ground back up there. I've already shown all this stuff. There's nothing new up here. I'm trying to think if there's anything new. I put some hostas in. Oh yeah, look at this. This is the other Mahonia narihara that I have. It looks so good. It's a wonderful looking plant. And then the soft caress. I've seen a bunch of really ratty looking soft caress here on the East Coast, but the ones that I'm growing here in the shade in good soil with lots of moisture look way better than the ones I've seen in town. So that's good. Well, that's about it for now. I didn't show you my peppers up here. I'm growing a bunch of hot peppers from seed. I've got ghost pepper and Carolina Reaper and Scotch bonnet, but there's a bunch of Thai pepper that are fruiting already, and they're hot. They've got really good heat. They just don't have much flavor. They need to ripen up. But I didn't show you the bananas either. Dwarf Namois. Hey, there's my other mule palms of Mississippi mule. I think I'll keep that in the pot. That's a Sable Riverside. Got a couple little elderberries. They're like cuttings. I'd like to grow some elderberry. This one is Dwarf Namois. I think that one's a Cavendish or Dwarf Cav. I don't remember. This one is Ice Cream. And I've got another one over here. This is either Cavendish or Dwarf Cav. Right next to my neighbor's fig tree. They told me I could come get figs anytime I wanted to. That's very nice of them. Yeah, I was going to grow the bananas up close to the house on the back side, on the south side. But with the change in the angle of the sun, coming from winter into summertime, I realized it was really practical to just keep them up here. These bananas up here will get sun all afternoon, And got more Cycas revoluta. That one's got a, I busted these apart from that big pear that's up in the middle of the yard. And it, like, fungus just keeps reappearing. I keep hitting it with copper fungicide. So I'm trying to get that fungus issue lined out before I plant it. But this is the area I'm looking forward to the most. It looks really sparse and bare. I need to get more mulch in here. But I think by the end of the summer, most of the foliage will kind of double or triple in size. And I think it will look way better. So pretty excited to see how that comes along. But that's it for now.